Welcome back to Euro Football Daily, where we're looking at some unlikely candidates from across the continent who face a real chance of securing silverware this season. Let's go. 10. Fiorentina. The Coppa Italia is usually shared among the usual suspects of Italian football, be it the Milan or Rome clubs or Juventus. But this year Fiorentina have a chance to break that cycle after securing one foot in the final. La Viola overcame Sampdoria and Torino in the earlier rounds and now hold a 2-0 advantage over Cremonese in the last four. Their opponents have done them a favour too, defeating Napoli and Roma en route despite facing relegation from Serie A with just 3 wins all season. As the even bigger underdogs, Cremonese could of course reach the final too if they turn the tie around. However, that looks unlikely. Fiorentina are in stunning form on a 13-game unbeaten streak which includes 11 wins. After a start to the campaign that was plagued with inconsistency, Vincenzo Italiano's outfit have finally kicked into gear. Also on course to reach the semi-finals of the Europa Conference League, Fiorentina last won the Coppa Italia back in 1996 and have only reached the final twice in the years since. Go all the way in 2023 and they will become the joint 4th most successful team in the competition's history. 9. Falkirk. As we've just alluded to, the magic of the cup means that underdog clubs can enjoy a favourable route to the final as long as they keep winning. And that has certainly been the case in the Scottish Cup, where the luck of the draw has put Rangers and Celtic against each other on one half of the semi-finals, leaving Inverness and Falkirk to fight it out for a spot in the showpiece event at Hampton Park. Either side going all the way to win the competition would be remarkable. Inverness are currently in the Scottish Championship, now pushing for promotion via the playoffs after a recent upturn in form. Falkirk though are even lower in the 3rd tier of Scottish football. Now in their 4th straight season in League One, the Bairns are looking to win just the 3rd Scottish Cup in their history, having lost their last 3 appearances in the final. The last of those came in 2014-15, when again they faced Inverness. Let's see if they can get the better of Cali Thistle this time round and become just the 2nd ever 3rd tier side to reach the final after Gretna in 2006. 8. Bayer Leverkusen. So this could be the season that Bayer Leverkusen finally land themselves a trophy. Over the past 40 years, the nearly men of German football have floundered with glory in their sights, losing 3 DFB Pokal finals, 1 Champions League final, and collecting 5 runners-up medals in the Bundesliga too. But thanks to Xabi Alonso, this could all be about to change. Leverkusen have their sights set on the Europa League, with Union Saint-Gilloise all that separates them from a spot in the semi-finals. Admittedly, they have work to do after drawing 1-1 at home in the first leg, but this still looks set to be the club's best shot at major honours in years. Alonso has won an impressive 55% of his games in charge of the club, including 8 in their last 11 matches. Leverkusen have risen from 17th to 6th in the Bundesliga under the Spaniard, while Florian Wirtz has returned from injury to register 12 goal involvements in 17 games this term. The future looks bright at the Bayer Arena once more. Get past USG in Belgium and that future could finally include silverware for the first time since 1993, even if a tough tie against Roma or Feyenoord would await them in the semis. 7. Luton Town. It was recently revealed that if Luton Town get promoted to the Premier League, they will have to spend up to £10 million upgrading their stadium to meet the standards required in the top division. With a new ground set for construction already, the extra expense could be a tough pill to swallow, but it's testament to the Hatters' current success that this is a problem they may have to consider. After years of steady improvement under Nathan Jones, Luton are pushing hard for promotion from the Championship. The Bedfordshire Minnows are currently 3rd in the table with just 2 weeks to go, and enjoying a 10-game unbeaten streak, hold their position and a favourable draw in the playoffs awaits. And current boss Rob Edwards deserves huge credit for building on the work Jones left behind. Sacked by Watford at the start of the season, Edwards has since won 14 of his 25 games in charge at Kenilworth Road and only lost 4 times in that period. All this at a club that has spent just €4 million in the transfer market over the past 5 seasons. 9 years ago, Luton Town weren't even in the Football League. Now they are dreaming of playing on the biggest stage of all. 6. Union Saint-Gilloise. Once again, Union Saint-Gilloise are breaking boundaries in their pursuit of glory. USG were only promoted to the Belgian Pro League in 2021, going on to stun the nation by finishing top of the regular season table before coming 2nd in the Championship playoff. And they did it spending merely €1.1 million on new players while banking €7 million in player sales. In 2022-23, USG have continued to be frugal, turning an €8 million profit in the market. Their one big expenditure was €2 million spent on Victor Boniface from Bodo Glimt, an investment that could earn the club a small fortune down the line. Boniface has scored 7 and assisted 6 for USG in the league, helping them qualify for the Championship playoffs again, and has hit 6 in the Europa League, where Les Unionists have comfortably dealt with Braga, Malmo and Union Berlin twice to reach the quarter-finals. And as already mentioned, they drew the first leg of their last 8 clash away at Bayer Leverkusen, putting them in a strong position to reach the semis. Beat Die Werkself and USG will claim their biggest scalp yet. 5. Nantes. For the second year in a row, Nantes could have their hands on the Coupe de France. Prior to last season, Les Canaries hadn't won a trophy for over 20 years. Now they have a shot at winning consecutive major honours, all in a campaign which couldn't have gone much worse in Ligue 1. Rather than support manager Antoine Koumbaré in the summer, Nantes invested sparingly on new recruits like Ignatius Ganago and Moussa Sissoko from Watford. This feeble business was unable to counter the loss of Randal Kolo Muani to Eintracht Frankfurt, their top scorer across the 21-22 season. Battling both domestically and in Europe has pushed Nantes to the limit, and the result is they genuinely could be relegated from Ligue 1, currently 2 points clear of the bottom 4 at the time of writing. Only 3 sides have scored fewer goals than them all season. Yet the Coupe de France has been their solace. A favourable run culminated in a semi-final against Lyon, where the talismanic Ludovic Blas stepped up to seal a 1-0 win. But waiting in the final, a side with an even greater reason to be considered the underdog. 4. Toulouse. Toulouse presents an example of how relegation can sometimes be a blessing in disguise. After falling to Ligue 2 after the 2019-20 campaign, Les Pitchouns hit the refresh button, starting with new ownership in Redbird Capital, the same group that own AC Milan and also have a stake in Liverpool owners FSG. Former Tottenham and Liverpool director Damien Comolli also joined as president, along with Philippe Montagnier as coach, laying the foundations for the club's new beginning. It took 2 seasons to get back out of the French second tier, but Toulouse are back in Ligue 1, fueled by data-driven recruitment and a new intense style of play. Though not always pretty, Montagnier has made Tefesse well-organised and difficult to beat, meaning that despite a lack of individual quality, they should survive this season with a comfortable buffer on the 4-team drop zone. But what's more remarkable is how Toulouse have veered towards the cusp of history. For the first time ever, the club have reached the Coupe de France final, and they will fancy their chances against Nantes, who trail them by 7 points in the table. Win, and both Toulouse and Damien Comolli will see their reputation fully restored. 3. Brighton. What a truly amazing season Brighton are enjoying. 7th in the table, but with 2 games in hand on Tottenham in 5th, the Seagulls are well placed to secure entry into the Europa League, providing their fans with a continental adventure for the first time in their history. Keep up their current form, and the Champions League might not even be beyond them either. Roberto De Zerbi has done a truly stunning job since replacing Graham Potter at the Amex. The South Coast outfits have only lost 7 times in 29 games under the Italian, scoring more goals than anyone in the Premier League bar Man City or Arsenal. And all of this has been achieved while spinning an €82 million profit in the transfer market. And even if they don't access Europe via their league performance, Brighton do have another route to the Europa League thanks to the FA Cup. The club have stormed to the semi-finals where Manchester United await. They have already beaten the Red Devils once this season, winning 2-1 at Old Trafford, so don't bet against them repeating the same trick at Wembley. Emerge victorious, and a final against Manchester City or Sheffield United will be their prize. 2. Osasuna. For just the second time in their history, Osasuna are in the Copa del Rey final. And the Pamplona outfits reached that seismic milestone in epic fashion, by defeating Athletic Club in Bilbao thanks to a 116th minute winner from Pablo Ibanez. A trip to La Cartuja in Seville for the final is no less than what the Little Reds deserve. To reach the showpiece, they have had to overcome Spanish heavyweights in Real Betis, Sevilla and Athletic Club, while their form in La Liga has been equally impressive, currently 10th in the table and on course for their best finish in just over a decade. And this is unfamiliar territory. The only silverware they boast are titles of the lower divisions, and they lost their one previous Copa del Rey final to Betis in 2005. Standing in their way this time is Real Madrid, a formidable opponent, but if the raucous fans of Osasuna can help inspire their side, anything can happen. 1. Feyenoord. There aren't too many shocks to be found in Europe this season. Barcelona, PSG and Bayern Munich are all on course to win their domestic leagues, and while Napoli and Arsenal can be considered underdogs given their recent barren histories, both have been leading their respective divisions for some time. But a shock is on the cards in the Netherlands, where Feyenoord are holding off a spirited challenge from Ajax to top the Eredivisie. A stunning 3-2 win at the Johan Cruyff Arena in March means they are now 8 points clear of Ajax and PSV Eindhoven with 5 games to play. And the man who must take credit for Feyenoord's first title charge since 2016-17 is Arne Slot. The maverick Dutch manager has the Rotterdam Giants taking more shots than anyone else in the Netherlands, blitzing the opposition with tactically fluid formations and a rounded attack that has produced 16 different scorers this season. And there could be more silverware for Feyenoord in Europe too. Just 1 year on from reaching the Conference League final, they face Roma again, looking to exact revenge in the last 8 of the Europa League. They won the first leg 1-0 at home, giving their fans every reason to believe they can go all the way. So those were our 10 underdog clubs pushing for silverware this season, but what did you make of our list? Which of these stories do you think is the best? Let us know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, please leave it a like and subscribe to Euro Football Daily if you haven't done so already. Thanks for watching, we'll see you next time.